Segun, are you there?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but you can pardon your volume.
Okay. Am I clearer now?
Yes.
Uh, so I'm going to get started. So, so can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we
Yes, we
can.
can see your screen.
Okay. So my name is Shegun. A bit intro about myself. I'm actually a mobile developer. Um, I focus on video application using the Flutter SDK, the Flutter framework. So I'm also a community builder and a content creator, and most of all, a technical writer. So think then we're going to discussing how you can contribute to open source as a technical writer. So, let's start. What the hell is open source? Because I'm hearing what open source is. Open source from developers, open source for this. But what is open source? So first, open source is just a software. Open source software is a code that was designed to be publicly available or publicly accessible that can easily be modified, easily be distributed the way it's you say it. That means these are codes that make public, codes that anybody can dive in and contribute, anybody can dive in and use without paying. So but since we're talking about code, why the hell or what concerns technical writers and uh, open source? Because basically, technical writers don't write code, they write articles, they write content, doing content, or you write. What the hell concerns us with open source? So basically, based on a survey in 2017, one of the major issues we face in the open source community is the lack of documentation. Like you can see in this graph here, the major issue we face or developers face generally contributing to open source is the lack of proper documentation. That means they don't have they don't, they don't know the know-how, what the project is about. They don't have like a detailed breakdown on what the project is about and how to contribute to the project. This is one of the major issues developers face. So this is where people writers come in. We come in identify the issues. We come in identify issues that are related to open source, issues that may lead for developers not to be able to contribute to open source. So how can writers, particularly writers, contribute to the open source projects? It's simple. One of the first steps you take in order to be able for you to be able to contribute to the open source space, it's quite simple. You identify an issue. There are many open source projects available that lack documentation, that lack, uh, that lack detailed breakdown or detailed expression on how the project is to be run. Basically, we identify these issues, or we identify this project that lacks documentation. The issues that we may identify from them is some might be having typos issues, long sentences, real issues. Someone documentation may not be break down properly. That even a normal a normal developer may not be able to comprehend or able to understand what the project is about. These are issues technical writers can see and contribute to the open source community. So it's very issue. So most of them, when you when you're diving into when you're about contributing, most of them them, you may not actually see maybe an open issue that okay, we lack proper documentation. Please come and contribute to our profile, with our project with proper documentation. So then you may just stumble across maybe before you guys become a technical writer, you must be working in one framework or one programming language or one tool or the other. So you may dive into projects that maybe you have worked on before, but to that lack proper documentation, you when you're trying to use the project, you face some kind of issue that you cannot go understand the project. So you can raise an issue. You can raise an issue in the project and basically directly contribute to the project. So how do you contribute to your open source project? As we say, after identifying the issues, okay, we are found an open source project. Notice that the open source project lacks a proper documentation. So how do we start contributing? So it's really straightforward. First, we most open source projects have a guideline on how to contribute to them. You can read through the guidelines on how the or the moderator wants participants to contribute to the project. Read the guidelines, make a fork make a fork this thing. Basically, I make a recommend just basically pulling it to your private branch so you can make edits to it. Then last one is you send a PRO. Okay. Can you guys hear me clearly now? Am I still echoing? Hello.
Okay.
Okay. Am I still echoing?
I can hear, but there's some background noise, but it's not so loud.
Okay. I guess I will just increase my voice a bit. Okay. So after identifying the after like making a fork, making your changes, you create a PR request. So when the contributor see a PR request, it basically merge it to the existing project. So that you have been able to contribute to a particular project in open source. So what are the benefits? One that why should developers why should technical writers actually contribute? What is in for us as technical writers? Why should we contribute to this open source project? So based on what we gain a lot of experience, basically improve our skills, improve our writing skills, because we have to follow a strict guideline while contributing. We have to like make a lot of research before we can actually uh, contribute to come up with the proper documentation. Because basically, you coming up with the documentation is like coming up with a write-up in which developers or guideline which developers will follow to use that particular project. So we have to do a lot of basically do a lot of research, and basically this actually improve our writing skills. Number two, we can add it to our portfolio, like especially when you're job hunting or you're looking for connection. Basically, you can add it to your portfolio that okay, I contribute to so and so projects. Imagine there was let's say project on Meta, for instance, now, and maybe you found some documentation issue that was not properly well documented. You form the project and create a PRO, and Meta actually accept a PRO. Basically, you cannot add it to your profile that you are open source contributor to Meta. So but that will give you like an edge over maybe over your rest competitors, especially when applying for a gig or applying for a job. Also, it gets you recommendation and referral. You will able to see a lot of like if you contribute for large scale companies or large scale projects, you easily get referrals and recommendation for this kind of projects. And one of the most important thing, you actually become an open source contributor. You cannot put in your profile, I'm an open source contributor. This give you this enable you to a large scale audience where you can actually get more opportunities as a open source contributor. Also, you expand your network. You also learn and collaborate with guys in the industry. So, so number two, so notable best practice while contributing to to open source, or why contribute to a project or to a project in open source? One, follow the existing style guide. So most maintainer of an open source project will not actually accept your PRO if you not actually follow the existing guideline that was assigned to that project. So one most important thing to do when you contribute to the open source project, follow the guideline. Also, let the title to reflect the context of your page. Always define the page. Always define the page about in the first paragraph. Consider your audience. Like put your think like a developer who actually creating this, who actually contributing or who actually contributing to open source. Don't actually think like okay, what you think you understand. Think in a third person perspective, so that when the developers are reading your documentation, they will easily understand and follow through. Also, one of the most important thing, avoid duplication of context. Actually, not just that because you want to become a contributor, you have to go and start duplicating content. Okay, just that so you have to become a process contributor. Learn to avoid duplication. If a proper documentation on a particular process project is already exists and you feel there's no need for you to contribute, don't contribute. Look for more. There are thousands and one open source projects which can contribute and give you notable reputation. In conclusion, open source is actually becoming a major deal these days, and the community is actually growing. But technical writers are the driving force that are actually standing behind the open source in general. Because without technical writers contributing to open source, developers will not be able to contribute to open source. So, guys, that is it. Thank you guys for listening. I don't know if any of you have any questions or you would love me to break down on the steps on how you can contribute. Please, you can ask me.
Okay. I'm not sure from the participant. I think the session was quite short. I was expecting longer session.
Okay. If you guys don't mind, I can actually give you guys a live demo on um
Yeah, we can see.
This meeting is being recorded.
okay, perfect. So as open source contributor, how do we as a technical writer detect or look for projects to contribute to open source? You know, remember in the month of half October 1st, so there are a lot of open source projects being created this period, and developers are actually contributing to a lot of them. So but to use the flow of this month, we can actually look for open source projects, but just come to your search bar and type hack bar. So, one most important thing I tell guys I want to start contributing to open source project is actually in the month of October 1st that they should start the, the Hack October 1st official organizational repo. This gives you the option that whenever you log into your GitHub profile, you're going to see different open source projects that actually they have been posting. See now you notice all these and all these are open source projects that have been posting. So when you start the October 1st organizational repo, you're going to see the list of all your open source projects that are currently in the Hacktoberfest topic. So there are a lot of ways you can actually contribute. I don't know if you guys can see my screen. I'm sharing my screen. If you can't see my screen, just let me know in the message section.
I cannot see your screen. Could you probably stop sharing and reshare?
Let me share again. What about now?
Yes, I can see your screen now.
Okay, perfect. So so another way to contribute is by looking the Hacktoberfest. You can okay, all these are lists of projects that you can actually contribute to. So it's very easy and pretty straightforward to contribute to them. Let me give you an instance now. I picked this up. Okay, yeah. So you can see clearly. This a I guess this is a training course or something. My network is still lagging. So to look for an open source, since we're technical writers, we'll majorly be targeting to contribute to the MD files, documentations in which when developer come, they can easily be able to access it. So I'll give you instance now. Actually, what I prefer is actually we look for projects that in our stack. For instance, now I'm a mobile developer. Actually, love contributing or want to write the documentation for a project. I want to contribute as a technical writer. I select projects like on my stacks, like Flutter, for instance. Now, many of the projects don't have proper documentation, so I can just come click on the, any of the projects that I think that have documentation. Then, sorry, GitHub is having issue. Okay, then. Sorry, GitHub is having a bit of issues right now. Since that repo is having issues, so let me pick up a different repo and show you guys how to contribute. Okay, let me pick TypeScript. So you can basically come by the side here and select the language you love to contribute to. So I pick in TypeScript, for instance. Now I pick this first project, for instance. So now this is the documentation on how you can contribute to the project. So the guidelines on how you can contribute are just basically here. So before you start contributing, one person advice is that read the guidelines so that you don't actually go and contribute what you are not actually supposed to contribute. So you don't go and uh, uh, contribute in the wrong way, because if you contribute the wrong way, the maintainer of the project will not accept your contribution. So I advise you guys to read the guidelines, the protocols on how you can contribute. Then maybe, for instance, now this project, the documentation on how to use the library. For instance, now maybe there's a typo issue or it's not well structured or something, I can just easily come. First and foremost, we check. You can easily check if there's an issue in that in the existing repo about what you're about to contribute on. If there's no issue, you can basically create a new issue and assign the issue to yourself. After creating an issue, then you can fork the project. Fork the project, automatically take it from the master repo and take it to your private repo where you can make your contribution to, meaning that all the changes you are making here will not be affecting the main repo you're working from. So it sounds now I'm done contributing. Maybe I want to contribute to the architect MD file. Maybe there's an error, or it's not well structured. After my contribution here, after I make my contribution here, I can easily come back and make a PRO request. Me making my PRO request, the maintainer will, or the maintainer of the open source project will say,
I'm not sure we can see the screen where you're making the PR request.
I think this is just having a bit of issues. Why, Bana, can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay. As I was saying, in case maybe you guys want to see my screen the first time. So what I did after finding an open source project and contribute to, I came over here. I don't know if you can see my mouse, and I forked the repo. Basically, this take the repo to my private repo. My GitHub / the repo I'm contributing to. So this gives me access to edit the file, then push and commit to my private repo. So when I'm done with my changes, I'm done with documentation, I follow the guidelines, I can easily make a PRO request. Let me just do something so that I can make a PRO request. Okay. So that there are better ways than to edit a documentation file than this. I'm just using this for example. You can actually put this to your local machine and make all your changes you want to make. So I want to make a quick change here so that I can be able to do a PR request. So if you don't, if you're unable to do any changes, you will not be able to do a PR request because your private branch will be the same as the master branch that you pull from. So let me just bring this up so I can. Can you guys see my screen now? Seems was lagging. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes, you can, but I don't think when you change or make any movement on the screen, you can see. You can only see like a still image of the screen.
Okay, well, I'm trying to move my mouse around. Can you see now?
Nope.
You're supposed to be able to see the movement on my screen. If you can see, just let me know so I can make the PRO request.
No. We are on the overview page for the repo, so I'm not sure if
Uh,
move from there.
um, so can you, I think, okay. Let me just cancel the sharing and re-share again. I guess that would be better. Can you guys see it now?
Okay, we can now see the markdown.
Okay, you can see the movement on my screen, right?
No, it's now a still image.
It's still a still image.
Yeah.
Yes, my network just give me some bad issues. Um, mm,
Okay, I just saw the movement. I think you're on mute, Segun.
I can be seen clearly now. So I think I can be seen clearly now, right?
Yeah, yeah. So now I can see the motion.
Okay, perfect. So I was saying after we identify the project we would love to contribute to, like for instance now this Pokemon Showdown, maybe there's a feature they really released or there's an issue with their current documentation, maybe there's a typo or there's not one of the statements not well broken down for the developers to understand. Can you really just come here uh after popping the project to my private repo, can I decide to make a change? Let me say just on here say saving code. So I made a commit to my local branch, then pull to my local branch. Now, if it comes to the home, the main route, we notice that our branch is one commit ahead of the master branch or the master repo. So all we have to do is just to create the PRO request here by clicking here, create the PRO request. I'm not creating a PRO request because I just actually typed what was not actually relevant. So when we create the PR request, we actually follow the guideline from the master branch. The uh, the maintainer of the project will see our PR request, and we easily merge it to the official repo. So all this year are PR requests made by contributors, and now you can see the one that we approved and the one that we denied. So after making contributions, so you can easily come to the edge of your of this screen now, and your profile would be listed here as part of the contributors. So, and this also would reflect your profile will be listed here as a contributor. This also will reflect in your profile screen on GitHub, and you can share this out to, like, when you're, for instance, now we are looking for a job as a technical writer, or you are looking for a way you can add it to maybe your Twitter profile, your link that they contribute to, and add the link there. So whenever they come to this project, your profile will always be here as a contributor. So getting started, for me, what I actually recommend if you're actually the first time contribute to open source and you don't actually know how to look for that perfect project to contribute to. So what I actually recommend is to come to the issue section on your GitHub tab. So then clear out this first one. Then go and really just use this open Hacktober first, because we're actually in the month of October. That means there are a lot of open source projects contributed. They use this label, good first issue. Good first issue. These are just minor fix or minor write-up you can actually do and contribute. These are actually to boost your experience, or to boost your willingness to contribute. And maybe coming to an MD5 for a quick fix we did or something. So these are just basically quick fixes you can do that will actually take your time and you actually contribute to the project. And to look for a one quick fix, we can see here. Let me look at this. Okay, yeah. This is the issue. We highly recommend environment issue. So basically, this is the issue available that they want to fix. Most of this in a quick fix, it just means maybe come with a document on how on this new feature maybe another computer did, or come on with make a fix our existing documentation on how to use particular project. All these are quick fixes you can easily do and make you contribute, or make you do your first open source contribution. So since we're in the month of Hacktober first, there are a lot of rewards we can actually get from contributing to open source project this period. Actually, you can make successfully four PR requests before the end of October. Digital Ocean will be sending you a t-shirt, some other goodies, or some that swag and the rest. But you can make up to let me see, up to about 6 or 7 or 8. I can't actually remember the exact figure. You'll actually receive a lot of more goodies. So to register for the Hacktober, register and contribute for the Hacktober, it's pretty simple. Pretty simple. So just come to hacktoberfirst.com so that your contribution would be noticed by the team. So come to hacktoberfirst.com, then register and be part of them. So you register with your GitHub or your GitLab account. I've already registered, so you can take my profile directly to my own profile page. So you can actually see all the goodies on how to contribute to the Hacktober First this period. Also, the swags I'm trying to bring out here the benefits of participation, like what you get in return for participating. So there are a lot of stuff you get. Most importantly, it gives you exposure, especially when contributing to projects which are basically used by large scale of people. Maybe we have a use team, or a use team using particular project you contribute. So this basically give you a wide scale of experience and will make you stand out from make your technical writing journey stand out from the others. So I don't know if any of you have any question. And you love me to.
I have a question.
Okay.
As a beginner, like you're freshly getting started, which
Okay.
sites can you recommend to find the resources to get started?
Okay, the resources to get started is pretty simple. In the official Ask About First website, I get, let me look for the link. There's a link which give you how to get started or how to contribute. For me, I will share the link to the chat section here. I'll share the link to the chat section so that we can see it. So this basically break down how we can, as a beginner, how you can contribute. You make a PRO request, the maintainer accept the PRO request, make a pull request. Also, there are resources, introduction to GitHub and open source, how to contribute, how to make a PRO request, how to locate for projects, how to search your project, anything about PRO. So if you're not used to Git or GitHub or how to use those commands, it's pretty simple. There's also resources here, how to use Git and the rest. So I will share this link to the chat section so that you can comment on it. Okay. So check the link to the chat section so we can actually go to the link, register, and get all the free resources that we need. And for also a beginner, after learning this basic stuff on how to contribute, how to make a PRO request, how to use Git and GitHub or GitLab, I also recommend you use this way to search for your first PRO request. Come to the issues tab on GitHub and put maybe another contributor to Hackable first. Look for use the Hackable first label and use first good first issue. This will give like simple contributions you can do to boost your morale as a open source contributor. So also send the tag you can use so that you can easily contribute. I don't know if I answer your question.
Yeah, you have answered my question.
Okay, no problem. Any other question?
Okay, we can take questions from Lance. So if you have a question, you can drop them in the chat section or just unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay, not sure if the audience is willing to speak. I'm tempted to pick members randomly and hear what they got from the session. Okay, so I'll just pick randomly. Brian Waiter.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. What I learned from the session was how to create the PR request and also how to make your first contribution to GitHub.
Thanks. I'm glad you actually got to learn something. Okay. Pick Nduta. Is Nduta on the call? Okay. Assume not. Edwin Mwangi.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, I unfortunately I joined a bit late, but uh, there's the I think it was next to the Hacktoberfest website. Yeah, that's the little like grass. Yeah.
Nice. I'm curious, is there anyone in the session that is participating in any open source project this month?
Hi,
Hello.
I'm part of Speciatech open source project.
So they have an open source project.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Do you mind, are you in our WhatsApp group? You share with us because I think would love to participate, yeah?
I'm not on WhatsApp, but I'm on Telegram. So I'll share on Telegram.
Let me just share. Okay. Are you willing to join our WhatsApp group so that I can share it real quick? Because I think our WhatsApp group is more active.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm sharing the link in a few. Okay. Yeah, so there. So I think you can share what they're doing and probably if our members are willing to participate and if they're willing to take in participants, we will join. Thank you, Brian, for that. Okay, we have Ronan. What have you learned from the session today? Okay. No sooner had I mentioned, he left the call. Okay. Anyone else wants to share what they've learned? Okay, we have a comment from Benson. Enjoyed your Flutter post on Flutter. Do you have suggestions for good Flutter projects? Well, thank you. And I'm not sure if I have suggestions because lately, I don't know if I'm the one who's feeling this, if you're a Flutter technical author, but lately, topics on Flutter are not, are not available. I think it's quite difficult to find a topic nowadays to write on because it feels like you've written most of the things that you could write on and people have written so many things. And so yeah, for a good project you could work on, I'd suggest write on whatever you're learning. So whatever you're currently learning, that is a good topic to write on. Okay, I had picked Ronan and then he left, so he's back. Hi, Ronan. Okay, karibu. Okay, I assume silence means no more questions. So as a community, we just wanted to know what kind of sessions would you like us to host in the near future? Or rather, if you'd love one more extra session on open source because this is open source month. So if so, you could either just drop it in the chat section or just unmute and share because I think if you share directly, it will be better. And as you type your questions, I just love to thank our speaker for today, Segun, for the amazing session. Thank you so much for the insights on contributing to open source. I do hope our members get to contribute more this month to open source. Thank you, Segun.
The pleasure is mine. I'm happy to be here.
Okay.
So if you guys have any other questions that you'd love to ask me, you can follow me on Twitter and DM me directly. I'll be willing to answer any of your questions.
Yeah, that will be perfect. I'm not sure if you shared your socials.
So let me share my socials in the automatic
Okay.
session. Okay. I'll also share the link to my slide.
Yeah, because I think I only saw one one page for your slides. I was not sure if you had more slides. I was a bit
Oh,
confused.
I guess was the screen was not actually sharing. I had a lot of stuff on the slide. I will just share so you guys will be able to see it, like go
Okay.
through the slide.
No worries. Okay. Um.
Uh, let me get the link and share.
I also just shared a direct link to the tutor profile. Okay, as he shares his slide, anyone with a comment on the kind of sessions we should have as a community, because definitely we'll be having our physical meetup. I know the team is working on that, but besides the physical meetup, we are curious to know what areas of technical writing you'd love to pursue or learn. Because I don't really think our community members are active in API documentation or just documentation in general. Because I know most of us do the traditional writing, technical writing. Okay. I hope the team is noting that. Valentine, I hope you are noting the comments. We have more sessions on contributing to open source. There's more people doing or who have done technical writing. Edwin, could you expound more on the second bit? More people doing or who have done technical writing.
Oh, hi. I think the like I meant more like the session we had with like you, it was you, Walobo and Bonnie. I think that was good. It was very enlightening. And also, I think there was a lady who said that I think on Saturday, on the session that failed on Saturday, there was a lady who said that she has worked for some company. So maybe I thought it would have been interesting to hear what her work was about, what they were doing, yeah, such,
Okay,
yeah.
we'll keep that in
Yeah,
mind.
plus open source. I think open source is still something we need to learn more about. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a plus on that. I also support that very much. And luckily, our champion for open source is here. So, Valentine, I hope you hear that we need more open source projects and sessions.
Yeah, I have noted that. Plus, I had a comment for the people who want to contribute to open source as documentarians. You can contribute to Section IO or FreeCodeCamp. You can also contribute in some documentation like GitHub, React. Such documentations are open source, and there is more to that.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if Valentine, you have contributed before to open source. Have you?
Yeah, I have contributed in multiple projects which are open source, like Section IO. I'm currently working with FreeCodeCamp. That's an open source company. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not sure if you're comfortable, like probably I'm not exactly in a session like this, but maybe when you get like to do a contribution, maybe just do like a short recording of what exactly you would do, like maybe you identify an area you can contribute in the doc, and then your process of contributing to the project. So maybe, identifying the section you want to contribute to, maybe, I don't know, the process, like cloning the repo, editing, making your pull request, and then pushing and then waiting for it to be merged. I'm not sure if you get an opportunity to do that, you can like do a short demo for us so that maybe in future we can.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Obed says technical writing and understanding documentation. Yeah, I feel like as a community, we have lagged behind on the documentation bits, because recently I did an interview for a technical writing position, and they told me we do not want a software developer who writes, we want a documentarian. So like, okay, so I'm actually not doing what they want me to do, because as a technical writer, I assumed I could do anything. Yeah, but they clearly stated that we're not looking for a software developer who writes, we're looking for a documentarian. So I think we need to pursue the documentation area, or rather just put more emphasis on that area as well. Okay, which programming languages should one know to join GitHub? I'm not sure who mentioned GitHub. Was it Valentine? Did you mention GitHub?
Yeah, I mentioned GitHub. So to contribute in GitHub, you need just the basics and to know how to use it. Definitely, you can check their documentation, then notice an issue, or go to their repo on GitHub, and if you notice an issue that you can contribute to or you can work on, you can make a pull request. When it's approved, you contribute and you wait for the merging.
Okay. Also, I think to use GitHub, you need to learn Git. And I think as a community, we once shared some resource, a very nice book for learning Git. So I'll just share the link once again to the resource for our community. So that is a link to one of the books we use to learn Git as a community. So if you're interested to learn Git, you can use that. And then you are lucky because next month is Doctor's Code. So we will be having one of our volunteers champion the Doctor's Code month. So next month we'll be doing some languages the basics of programming languages. So we'll probably go through languages as JavaScript, TypeScript, probably Git once again, because I think we've done a session on Git before. So basically we'll just go through some programming basics so that we get to know some of the languages that will help us, get into technical writing, because I understand for most technical writers, you definitely need to know at least one programming language. Yeah, you need to understand some programming basics if you want to become a good technical writer. So next month, definitely join us for our sessions, because we'll be doing more programming than writing. Okay, perhaps pick a couple that we can contribute to as a community that are friendly or relevant. Yeah, I think Valentine, you can note that.
Sure.
Okay. Anyone else with comment or anything to share before we end the session? Okay, also just a reminder, we have a community blog. So if you want your blog to be featured as part of our community blog, you can always reach out to either of the volunteers in the community. So basically, to identify a volunteer in the community, you go to our WhatsApp group and check the admins. All admins are volunteers. So you can reach out to any of them and then let them know that you want to contribute a blog or article to our Hashnote blog. So with that, it's contributing to a blog. One of the benefits is that sometimes we get to share our community blog to the global Write Docs community, and then that's way they get to identify what our members are doing, and you never know who is viewing our blog or who is viewing what our members do. So yeah, so it's like one central place where we can showcase what our members are doing. Okay, Valentine, I think I'll hand over the session to you so that you can close for us.
Thanks for joining. I would like to share the last thing. Let me share my screen. Okay, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
Okay, here is our code of conduct as Rise the Dogs Kenya. So Rise the Dogs is dedicated to providing a safe, inclusive, welcoming, and harassment-free space and experience for all community participants, regardless of race, ethnicity, culture, national origin, color, migration status, social and economic class, education level, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity and expression, age, size, family status, religion, and mental and physical ability. So you're welcome to the team. Feel free and comfortable. Okay, thank you very much for joining and see you in the future session.
Bye.
Bye.